So in the first of these extras, we're going to see how you can use Bluetooth with your Android apps. Bluetooth, if you haven't come across it, is a very widely used technology to connect phones to phones and increasingly phones to other things. So if you want to check it out, check out Bluetooth.com, and it's particularly becoming popular with things like smart homes and smart devices and wearable devices to connect all your devices together. So it's a really useful technology to be able to work with. And we're going to see how to do everything that you'll need with Bluetooth right here. So let's go into Android Studio and create a new project. We'll call it Bluetooth Demo, all the usual settings, and finish. All right, the main anticlimax of this video, I'll warn you in advance, is that you can't use Bluetooth at all on the simulator or the emulator. So we're not going to be able to actually actively test this and for me to show you it finally working. But I am going to create a completely working Bluetooth app, which then you can run on your Android phone and get it working exactly as is here. So we'll see all the code, but we won't be able to actually test it and see it in action. All right. So the first thing that we need to work with Bluetooth is our Bluetooth adapter variable. And we normally call that BA for obvious reasons. So we create our Bluetooth adapter variable, and that allows us to work with Bluetooth in the same way that we use a location manager to work with location. Okay. Now the first thing we're going to need to do is check whether the user has Bluetooth turned on, and if they don't, then attempt to turn it on. So BA, our Bluetooth adapter, has a nice method built in called isEnabled. You can see a couple of the other methods that you might want to use later on as well. And we can use that. That's just a Boolean, so we can test that and say if it's enabled, then we might do a quick toast to tell the user that it's already on, or because we're testing here, to tell us. So let's do that. Do application context and something like Bluetooth is on. Length long, show. Now you notice we've got an error there. That's because we haven't enabled the Bluetooth permission in the manifest. But you can see it's just done that for us now, and there it is. Okay. So now we've checked to see if Bluetooth is on. If it's not, we're going to try and turn it on. And we actually do that with an intent, because we're going beyond the bounds of this individual app here. So we'll create an intent I, which is a new intent, and this time we're heading to the Bluetooth adapter, and again, loads of different options that you might want to use if you're working with Bluetooth, but the one we want is action request enable. So that will attempt to enable Bluetooth, and then we'll start that activity. So that will attempt to enable the Bluetooth. We'll then do another check to see if Bluetooth is enabled. And once again, we'll make a toast. And just to clarify the difference, we'll say Bluetooth has now been turned on. So that's a very simple check to see if Bluetooth is on, and if it's not, attempt to turn it on, and then test again to see if the attempt was successful. It could be that there's a problem with Bluetooth on the user's phone, or the phone doesn't even have Bluetooth. So you should never assume that Bluetooth is working just because you've requested the Bluetooth adapter to be enabled. Okay. We're now going to set up a few different options, and to do that we'll have some buttons over in our XML layout file. So let's get rid of Hello World and bring in a few buttons. So we'll have, first off, turn Bluetooth off. Then we'll have another button which looks for discoverable devices. So if you've worked with Bluetooth, you've probably done this process of searching for your new earphones or smartwatch or whatever it is, of finding discoverable devices. So we'll see in a minute how to do that. And then we'll add our third and final button to view paired devices. So these are going to be the devices which are already paired with the phone. And finally, we'll just add a list view to allow the paired devices to be displayed. There we go. So we'll call that paired devices list view. Okay, so once we've finished the code for this app, you should be able to use this to turn Bluetooth off, find discoverable devices, and to view paired devices as well. Okay, so let's just set up some on-click methods for each of these. So first of all, turn Bluetooth off, and I'm going to do these one by one. So let's jump back over to main activity and then create our method, turn Bluetooth off. Of course, it's going to be called by the button view. And turning Bluetooth off is actually really, really simple. It's ba.disable. Simple as that. And we're going to need to add Bluetooth admin to our Android manifest for that to work as well. So we need the permission to be able to control Bluetooth. And then I'll just add a toast to confirm that. And we should probably do another check just to make sure that it worked. So if it's still enabled, we'll add a toast saying Bluetooth could not be disabled. Otherwise, Bluetooth turned off. Okay, so that's how you turn off Bluetooth. Finding discoverable devices. So let's add an on-click for that. And then we'll write the code over in main activity. So public void find discoverable devices called by a view. Now this will actually jump to a different intent again. So we'll create an intent I, which is going to be a new intent. And once again, we're using Bluetooth adapter. And this time we're looking for action request discoverable. There we go. And this will then jump to this screen that, again, you've probably seen before if you've worked with Android devices and Bluetooth, or even iOS, it works in a very similar way. This will take you to a screen which will show you the devices which are in a discoverable mode, so your smartwatch or your headphones or whatever, and then it will give you an opportunity to pair with them as well. So you don't need to manage the pairing yourself. That's done by the Android operating system. And then all we need to do there is start the activity. So that then finds the discoverable devices. Our final job is to view the paired devices. And this will tell us whether we've been successful with if we were trying to find and pair with a specific device. So we're now viewing paired devices. So let's make our method for that. And this one's a little more complicated. We're going to need a set, which is very similar to a list. It's subtly different, and you can have a quick Google to see what the differences between a set and a list are. But essentially you can think of it just like a list, and actually we're going to convert it to an array list in a minute as well. So we'll call our set paired devices, and we get that from Bluetooth adapter dot get bonded devices. So bonded is the word that we use in our code as opposed to paired. And then if we want to display those on the table or on the list view, we just need to set up the list view. So that's what its ID is. So we'll create a list view called paired devices list view. This is going to be a list view, and that should be a capital V. Find view by ID, r.id.paired devices list view. And then we want to use an array adapter to display our information on the list view. We can't do a direct display the information in the set on the list view, so we need to convert the set into an array adapter. An array list, sorry. So I'll call this paired devices array list. And this is going to be a new array list. And then we're going to loop through paired devices that we've got here and just add them to the array list. So we're just essentially converting the set into an array list so that we can use an array adapter to display the information on the list view. So we're going to use a for loop, and we're looking for Bluetooth devices. So each of these is going to be a Bluetooth device, and we'll call them Bluetooth device, and we're going to get them from our paired devices set. So we've done that before. Yes, and we're getting this error because we haven't specified the type of data that we want to have in our set. If we just specify that to Bluetooth device, because we know that that's what's going to be returned by this get bonded devices method. So that should be fine. Then for each of these devices, we want to get the name and add it to the array list. So if we take out paired devices array list and add, we want to add Bluetooth device dot. Now I just want to show you some of the information that you can get about these Bluetooth devices. So Bluetooth class, address, type, etc., pairing confirmation, set pin, all sorts of things that you can do with those devices. And the one that we want to do is get the name. So that's going to add the name of the device to our paired devices array list. And then we create our array adapter, just as we've done before. I'll call it array adapter. And this is a new array adapter using this and our familiar Android R layout simple list item 1. And we're getting it from paired devices array list. And then finally, we'll take our list view and set the adapter. There we go. So I won't even bother running the app because, as I say, it won't do anything because we can't run that on the simulator. But if you download it from the next lecture, or even better, write it yourself, then you'll be able to work with at least the basic functions of Bluetooth when you run it on a real device. So that's how you do the basics of Bluetooth. Obviously, there's a lot more that you can do, sending files and retrieving data, etc. But that's all very specific to the type of object that you want to connect to, whether it be an Arduino, a smartwatch, or anything else. So I'll leave you to get that code from the web, but this should get you started at least with how to work with Bluetooth on Android.